Am I the asshole for having alcohol around my pregnant wife? My wife, 29 female, is 4 months pregnant and cannot stand the smell of alcohol. Even the smallest whiff from your breath or clothes will send her spewing. I, 31 male, love whiskey in the evening time. I would drink a glass, proceed to brush and use mouthwash so my wife doesn't barf on me when she sees me. Yet, she runs away from me whenever I'm even a meter away because she claims she can still smell it from a mile away. We haven't even kissed at night due to this, and I have tried everything to eliminate the whiskey smell. Yet, she still believes she can smell the faint whiskey, which makes her lose it completely. A couple days ago, I changed my clothes, showered after it and told her that, I promise the smell is gone. She proceeds to hug me and quickly runs to the bathroom, to vomit. She comes back to tell me that, she isn't coming near me at night until this baby comes out. Proceeds to tell me that she was right, and that, I am being inconsiderate to her introduction to motherhood. Even thought I think I am being overly considerate and trying my best to get rid of this whiskey scent, that she can apparently smell from a mile away. She has proceeded to move into our guest bedroom until the foreseeable future. I told her she is overreacting and that it is quite disrespectful. She told me that she isn't trying to be any of those things, she just can't stand the smell of alcohol. Am I the asshole? Info. Why are you more dedicated to your nightly whiskey than your pregnant wife? Thank you for the awards. Blue Heart. You are the asshole. I say this because I am in this exact situation right now, except my vice is beer. I gave up beer when I'm around her. You know why? Because she's growing my fucking child. We as men have literally no idea or way of understanding what they're going through, and each pregnancy is unique. Stop. It won't be that long, I promise. And if you can't stop, please seek treatment. Info. Have you tried not drinking one night? You are the asshole. #YOU made her vomit. Stop acting like this is all in her head and read the room, the bathroom. Am I the asshole for telling my dad I've had enough and his wife's grief will not change my mind? My mom died when I, 17 male, was a baby, so I don't remember her, but her family was a big presence in my life and I vacation with them every summer, 2020 excluded. Dad met his wife when I was 7. They were together for 6 months when she told me she loved me, after meeting her 3 other times before that, and she could not wait to give me another mom. I told her I didn't want another mom. She was sad but said she understood. They married a few months after that, and then when I was 9 she and my dad sat me down and told me she wanted to adopt me and that she loved me so much and her dream was to be my mom. I told them I still didn't think of her as my mom. She asked if I loved her enough to try to give it a shot and we could wait on the adoption until I was ready. I said I didn't want to. She then said to do it because I loved her. Dad said there was no woman more deserving. I told them I didn't love her enough to let her be my mom. She cried. My dad told me he didn't know why I was lying, but therapy would help me see I loved her. I did go to therapy. I didn't change my mind on letting her be my mom, being adopted by her. So they tried to have a baby of their own. She was not able to get pregnant, but they abandoned the idea of her getting her motherhood dreams out of me, which was good. But she couldn't get pregnant, and so IVF was their next step. I'm not sure on all the details, but they only got enough for one try and they waited and prepped her so the pregnancy would stick. She made it to 14 of 15 weeks and then she miscarried 3 weeks ago. It was bad. She was broken and she ended up staying in the hospital so they could help her. My dad decided that now I need to give her what she wants. That 10 years of knowing her and 9-ish years of her being his wife means she has been my mom whether I like it or not, and I need to start showing her that I love and care about her. He told me the adoption would mean the world to her and would be the biggest help while she grieves. I told him I had enough and his wife's grief was not enough for me to let her adopt me. I told him I did not think of her as my mom. I did not love her. I was not a toy that could fill her motherhood desire. I told him I'm a real person, his son and mom's son, and while I don't know her, you can't just ask someone to be adopted to give another person their dream. He told me he was disappointed in me and expected me to be more compassionate and loving to her after all this time. Am I the asshole? Not the asshole. Honestly, it sounds like they've sabotaged her chances of having a healthy, loving relationship with you by trying to force the issue. You can't force someone to care about someone, that's just not how feelings work. They need to start respecting how you feel. Honestly, I do feel sorry for this woman. It sounds like she's been through some serious trauma, but it's not your job to fix that for her. Not the asshole. Oh, Ducking, my heart breaks for you. You lost your mom. Then your dad and stepmother fell in love with the idea of a perfect family. It was never actually about you. You deserve better from the adults in your life. You are not a bad person for not wanting to be a kid-shaped prop in their lives. I wish you all the best for next year when you hit 18 and can begin to set boundaries as an adult with them both. Am I the asshole for funding one of my daughter's masters but not the other's med school? Using a throwaway. I have 2 girls, R who's 29 and K who's 23. We had equal college funds saved up for both girls. R received scholarships, and her college wasn't extremely expensive to begin with. She ended up using about a third of the fund for her bachelor's, decided not to pursue further studies and went into working. K also received some financial aid but she ended up going through the entire fund. She's recently started med school. R's been thinking about going back to school to complete a master's degree. I was happy to hear that, and she asked if we could help her out with costs. We weren't sure at first, but I talked it over with my husband, and we agreed with her that since she didn't initially need her entire college fund for studies, she should be allowed to use the money to pursue further studies now. The situation that's come up now, we all got together for Thanksgiving and Kay heard that we agreed to funding R's masters. She was mad and pulled me aside, saying this is completely unfair and if I'm paying for her postgrad, I should at least help out with some of her med school costs. I told her this isn't like that, it's because R didn't originally use her money. Kay was still upset and she ended up leaving early, and I know she got into a bit of a verbal fight with R. She hasn't been responding to calls, texts, so I'm just letting her cool off a bit to understand. But Kay is clearly mad. Am I the asshole? You are the asshole because I saw your comment saying you allowed R to use up what was left of her college fund for a trip to Australia. So what you're gonna give her now for masters is basically extra money. Your other daughter is right to be pissed at the preferential treatment R is receiving. Edit. Thank you all for the awards and upvotes. You are the asshole. You have left out a critical bit of information in your post. You gave R the rest of the money and she opted to spend that on a holiday. So she has spent 100% of her fund, just not all for education. You need to update your post. If you do this pay for R further education, I hope you are saving funds for K to be given a holiday of a lifetime. Otherwise you are treating your children extremely unequally. Am I the asshole for not inviting my pregnant Sil to Thanksgiving? I, 33 female, hosted Thanksgiving this year. Every year it rotates between me, my sister and my brother's homes. It's a pretty big gathering that normally involves my siblings, their partners, my sister's kids and our parents. This year, my brother James, 35 male, and his wife Becky, 31 female, are having their first child. The baby is due in spring. We have a traditional Thanksgiving meal, watch the parade, play games as a family, couple drinks together in the evening, the usual stuff. Same kind of thing every year. This year a couple weeks back, I get what is basically a list of demands from Becky in our family group chat. She wants to come, but her pregnancy means some things need to be adjusted. Her rules were no poultry as the smell makes her sick, no alcohol as the smell makes her sick and she can't join in. The food needs to be served early as she needs to nap during the time it's normally served, and she doesn't want to play the games as she tires easily, so can we just listen to music, talk in the evening instead? I was really upset by this. Firstly, none of us are vegetarian and so I don't really know how to prepare a turkey alternative, but secondly I'd already ordered the turkey and it seems like a waste. And to not be able to drink, eat when we want to or even play our games in the evening just feels so unreasonable when 9 of us won't get to celebrate in the way we'd like to. In the family chat I replied and said while I would make her a non-poultry meal and would make sure people don't drink at the table, I wouldn't ban poultry or alcohol from the house and I certainly wouldn't be not playing our games. Particularly as my niece and nephew are now old enough to join in and really loved it last year. Both James and Becky said first was being unreasonable and that she's pregnant so I need to be more understanding. My mom joined in and said it's not hard to accommodate, but I was really annoyed by this point. I told Becky she was uninvited if she can't accept any compromise whatsoever. James called me separately to say I'm excluding her and ruining their Thanksgiving and she can't help how she feels during pregnancy. I said I wasn't excluding her and she's welcome if she can accept that Thanksgiving has to work for everyone else too. In the end neither Becky or James came over. It was a weird day without them and I'm sad they weren't there, but I feel like I wasn't unreasonable. I do want to make amends, but am I the asshole? Not the asshole. If Becky wants a Thanksgiving organized exactly to specifications that are the exact opposite of yours, James or one of the other people insisting she needs to get whatever she wants because she's pregnant can organize it for her. But her pregnancy means some things need to be adjusted. Since when did becoming pregnant become a national emergency for the people not involved? Hi, I'm pregnant. That's great. Thank you. You can no longer serve poultry or alcohol in my presence. And I require a shrubbery. Hop to it. Not the asshole. Sorry your sill is a pregnant Zilla. Edit. Thanks for the laughs and awards, y'all. Yes, that was an intentional reference. Closing parenthesis. Being pregnant is not a disability nor is it a free pass for unreasonably bad behavior. Not the asshole.